I'm not going in there. If
Well, we have to find Tolman,
I
but
t-
yes, this doesn't look good. If
Paul, are
you
there
want
any
to,
hob?
yeah, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are there any like Hobbit footprints I can look for?
Make a hunting check.
That's what I'm good at. Oh, 3 dice. 17. Yeah, I passed. No, 10 was nothing. But I
Okay.
passed.
So you're glancing around, looking around for Hobbit footprints. There's not been masses of passage of people here or wolves, so and even with the rain, it won't necessarily have washed anywhere. So okay, you see 3 sets of prints that you think would be hobbits because they're not shod or anything like that, and the footprints that you've seen before of the men coming and going, they weren't well shod, but they were not barefoot either. So you think that there's probably been 2 adult hobbits and 1 hobbit that would be a bit younger, maybe on the verge of adulthood. And you also see marks that are almost as if the hobbits have been like laid down in the ground.
Okay. Ooh. But nothing specifically for Tolman. Like Tolman footprints.
That's an interesting question. You see Tolman's footprints going into the cave because he wasn't particularly trying to hide it, and he'll have had to track through some mud. So some mud tracks into the cave. So you see Gert's footprints track in and Tolman's footprints track in, and you probably see Tolman's footprints track back out again and head off to the edge.
Okay.
But like as soon as it comes out of the entrance to the cave and into the ground, it gets a little bit indistinct. Because at that point he was in flight mode, trying to hide himself, and he's a hobbit, naturally able to do that kind of thing.
Okay. I'll tell Gert and Arthaniel about. I think 3 other hobbits have been here before. Possibly 2 adult, 1 younger one. And I point at the ground where I think they were laying. And then also Tolman's looks like he's gone back towards the hedge. And I point at the footprints on the floor to Gert mainly. So we need to check the hedge again.
Yeah.
All right. Could that be what we thought was being carried? Hobbits.
Oh, what Arthaniel found? Yeah, could be, maybe.
Yeah, possible.
Because they're not here, are they? So.
Yeah.
Actually, Gert, what was
we
in the
could still
cave,
explore
Gert?
the cave, right? We could still explore the rest of the cave.
Well, there's death inside that cave.
Oh, okay.
There's a poor hobbit girl died in there.
Best not to stay in there then, Arthaniel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you wanted to go searching for anything else in there, but.
Well, if they were dead, then maybe it would be a good thing to bury them. But I guess first, let's try and find Tolman first, I think, because now he has suddenly disappeared. So I think we should try and look for him first, and then we can think about what we do with the cave. We could still, again, in the meantime, I guess, light the fire as well. Try to get some warmth and dry because we are soaking wet, and that's what we can do. So I can start the fire if you want to look. Hang on, who's good at looking? So we want to go outside and look for Tolman. He thinks he's in the hedge, right?
Yeah, I think he's gone to the hedge. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of us goes looking, and there's the third one is putting the fire, setting up a fireplace. So I guess looking for things is awareness, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just got 2D in awareness. I haven't got no favored.
All right.
Yeah.
Gert is terrible at awareness, but he will.
He wants to do it.
He wants to disregard his problem with the hedges and start digging around for Tolman.
All right.
Even
Okay.
though
So
he is terrible at it, so he just starts
I can
right in there.
I can
Sure, I
start
can
the
give you
fire.
a hand.
Arthaniel.
Sorry, say it again.
I just said yeah. I can start the fire. You can carry on with Gert.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give Gert a hand, and yeah, you start
Okay.
the fire and.
So
let's
the
see
most
what
natural
Tolman
place to
says.
start the fire is in the entrance where there's already a fire pit being raised and created. Not to the standards that a ranger would have created it, but to a reasonable degree
Yeah.
of woodcraft. Certainly, possibly unusual, not Hobbit style.
Mm-hmm.
You just get a fire going. So Tolman, you can see and hear kind of particularly Gert and the obvious concern that he has. He's rooting around, looking underneath and such like. At one point, he comes really quite close to you, but you're literally disappeared. So
Yep. I mean, the sound of them calling to each other, talking to each other, and the kind of activity around him, he's going to start to come round a little bit and get his senses are coming together. He's not miserable, but he's still shell shocked from what he's seen, and he's still kind of running through all the possibilities in his mind. But yeah, he starts to climb down from the rock that he was, the little kind of hole in the rocks that he was hiding in. Makes his way down, and he's nervously looking around. Makes his way to Gert and the others.
So this rock prizes itself off the edge and resolves into Tolman. It's filthy as he scores through all of that, and probably got standing tears, if not down his face, as he almost zombified comes across to you, Gert, and probably without thinking, like just grabs you and just holds you a little.
Yeah, Gert immediately he drops to a knee, just to comfort him. He knows what he saw. What he saw. Yeah.
Yeah, Gert offers no words, but he offers his presence of reassurance.
I remember I used to play with her. Gert, when we were little. Her and my little sister, she was like a big sister to her. She'd look after her, sit her on her knee. And I've got to tell him. Gert. Got to go back and tell them.
Blonde hair streaming, the sunlight, the laugh that she had, so enheartening. These memories, they just pile into Tolman.
We'll take care of it, Tolman. We'll take care of it.
How could it happen? Why would there be wolves in the Shire? What kind of thing would do that? And why are there men with them? What kind of men would do that to a girl? She wasn't nothing but a girl.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll have a chance to ask them. I promise you that.
There's no way that
For
will
now-
affect you.
For now, we must recover our strength a little bit more, and I'll do it if you'd like. I'll prepare her, and we'll not leave her here in this cave. Bert will carry the load for us. until we return.
There's no way that Esteldor and Arthaniel didn't see and spot that. So, pausing whatever you were doing to see that moment.
Tolman just kind of nods as Gert speaks, and then just kind of just falls into him, just sobbing.
Esteldor and Arthaniel, you've seen a scene like this play out many times. This is not at all unusual for your people, beset as you are by the forces of the shadow continually. It reminds you of the fragility of the Shire, that it can have such an impact this one instant, and the mission of the Rangers to protect the hobbits within.
Yeah.
These wolves should never have got past us.
Yeah. But something did get away from here, so I feel like we still have to find it.
We do.
I was just setting the fire, Esteldor. You're conscious that maybe you need some warmth, some brews or something to help with this. Just on the edge of the cave, there are cut sticks from the trees around and bits of twine gathered around, and you can imagine in your mind's eye binding, a hobbit's arms to that and using it to carry.
Okay.
And the small little tokens and marks etched into the wood. Could you make a lore roll for me?
Yeah. Come on. No.
Okay, so you don't
I needed
recognise the
17, about 12.
symbols, but they are reminiscent of something that you've seen before, and they're just like etched with the edge of a blade into the wood, and the small kind of like crafted tokens, like stones with twine through them, gathered there.
Yeah.
A little tuft of wolf hair caught with string around it at the bottom. Clearly symbolic or meaningful in some way, but you don't know really what it might mean.
Okay. I'll gather those up, the bits of the wood, the marked wood and the little stone pendants, and I'll sit back at the fire and pass over to Arthaniel. What do you think of these? It's obviously some kind of enemy mark, but anything you've seen in your part of the watch?
Yeah. Looks interesting. Maybe it's some sort of messaging kind of leaving, like our Dunedain signals.
Make a
Maybe.
lore roll, Arthaniel.
Lore roll. Okay, let's do that. This is my favorite skill. Let me have a look. Let me get my glasses out and have a proper look. Bloody 6, and so it's no. It's I got 12 and target number is 13.
Yeah,
so
okay.
yeah,
So you can't they're reminiscent, and your thought that they're like the Dunedain symbols. They are quite like those sigils and those runes, and they probably do communicate some kind of meaning, and it's not just that they are like that in terms of they perform the same function. They're like that in that they do look like some of the runes and some of the sigils that the Dunedain use. Not the same, but maybe a derivative of, or a parallel scheme, but 100%
Does it look
very similar.
Does it look like an imitation, or that someone who would want to try to imitate them or emulate them? I don't know if I can tell.
Hard for you to tell the intent behind it.
Okay.
But
All right.
it's not like you don't think they're a attempt to fool rangers.
Okay.
You're not getting that kind of impression, but there's bits and marks that you recognise. You're like, well, that's quite like the room for safe passage. Apart from the fact it bends slightly to the left instead of slightly to the right, or it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. So Esteldor, I can't really figure it out. It could be some.
Hmm.
I'm just going on a hunch. Could be some evil men that know a little bit about our craft, our trade, or they grew up in our areas here in Eriador.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time I will spend the point of hope. Yeah.
Next time. Okay. So we've got the fire going, and you're starting to get a brew going. Tolman and Gert perhaps sat a little bit far away. Are Esteldor and Arthaniel going into the cave at all?
Well, yes. I mean, I guess I want.
Well,
Go on.
sorry, I was going to say out of character for me. Probably not, because game turn wise, I'm already at 5 shadow, and I'm not very good at rolling shadow tests.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, I can address the hobbits. I feel that obviously a lot of pain has been caused, and it won't limit the suffering. But I feel like we should honor the departed by giving them a proper burial. And if you want, we can help you with that. Or if you just want to leave, we can also do that. It's entirely up to you. I think we would look up to you and what you would want to do. We can help you.
Well, Marigold would, and her family would want her back in the Shire. They wouldn't want her left out here, in the middle of nowhere, in some cave. And want her.
Yeah,
They want us to take her back, take her home. And then there's who else has been taken? Who might be other hobbits?
well, yeah. Tolman, I didn't know what to tell you, but there appears to be markings here of I thought I saw 2 adult hobbits and like a smaller child hobbit marking, and possibly they were laying down and maybe they were carried off. And I point towards the sticks that could possibly have someone tied to them. What I just looked at. So I think we should, like Arthaniel said, we should probably press on and try and find these evil men.
A good point, Esteldor. If there's a chance we can save the living.
So, would you want us to take Marigold with us, or leave her here then come back for her on the way back?
While this conversation is happening, Gert is very carefully arranging Marigold, and he's taken a blanket off of Bert's pack and is kind of folding her into it.
There's nothing to her. She's almost weightless in your arms.
Tolman.
Well, we
can.
should be all right. Can we take her like this? Can we take her with us? It doesn't seem right. Either way, leave her here in the cold, in the dark where she died, or carry her halfway round the hills, across the fields, away from home. But you speak right, Esteldor. It's the living. It's the living that matter now. If there's hobbits out there, we need to save them. Can't have this happen to them.
Tolman, I'll place her on Bert and send Bert back to the Shire. We'll press on. If that's all right with you.
Let me write a note, and then whoever finds her, if a bounder finds her, at least they'll know who sent her back like this.
Gudrun volunteers to go back. She's come down from the tree and squeezed her way in.
There you are. Yes.
Hello.
That's good. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good solution for us. Yes, if she can do that, then
But she'll take the note.
yeah.
Thank you, Gudrun.
'Tis the least that I can do, Tolman. I'm trying to do an Italian
young woman number
guy
3.
playing
Yeah,
a Lady
younger,
of Dale.
yes. Yep, yep.
Mamma
think that
mia,
works
Italian. No, it's just not going to work, is it? It really isn't going to work.
Terry
is-
Jones, old lady.
Who just happens to come from like Italy. Well, not really at all, because Sheffield pretending to be from Italy. But all right, let's just move along because we've now just offended the whole of the Mediterranean world.
Yeah, so Tolman's happy with that. Yeah, well, not happy.
Yeah.
but he
Satisfied.
concedes that
Yeah.
that is the best.
Yeah, concedes that is the best course of action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gudrun starts to lead Bert. Marigold respectfully wrapped in the blanket. And you take a few moments to fortify yourselves. What are you doing?
Yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's try and find these guys. Are we kind of like dried a little bit, or maybe rested?
Yeah, well, if you're on the edge of the cave, you can dry yourselves down. You can have a little bite to eat. The atmosphere just feels heavy. It just feels a little draining.
Can I take a fellowship point to recover 1 point of hope?
Oh, yeah.
The connection that you felt with Gert, the warmth and the respect that everybody was showing to the situation, and their commitment to the living hobbits, kind of reminds Tolman a little bit of the other side of life.
Yeah, he's feeling like this, hunting down and tracking kidnapped hobbits isn't his. That's not what he was cut out for. But he understands that he's the one who's here who can help.
Yeah.
And he started to come out of his shell shock.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, gentlemen. So you've had an opportunity to kind of like rest and to think. Tolman has realised, he's asked himself, why me? And he's realised that everybody who lived to see such times would ask that question, but it's not for them to decide. What he has to do is decide what he's going to do with the time given to him. And in the moment, he has a job to do. He sketches this down and thinks, maybe I should send that off to Bilbo.
Those are good words. I can't believe I came up with that myself, actually. I must remember that. Not up to us to
Copyright.
choose, but to do. I'll remember it one day. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Takes a note, thinks, I need to tell the wise of this thought. I'll let Gandalf know.
Yes.
Okay.
I think Arthaniel should lead the way if he's found the tracks before. I can take the rear.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Okay.
I will go and I'll lead them where I started, when I thought I found the trail, and then I tried to recreate my my thought about this. So is there any test I can do?
Yep, of course. Yep. So the rain looks set. It looks really kind of there for a while yet. And now that you're on the edges of the Shire, it doesn't look so much like the Rangers protect the Shire as much as the Shire helps with the weather. You had this beautiful late summer feel not 2 days ago, and now you're deep in the middle of autumn, moving into the start of winter out here in the edge of the White Downs, gazing out. If you give me a hunting roll, Arthaniel, as you start to try to pick up the tracks, it's relatively easy to actually follow the tracks as they wend and move their way through.
Maybe it's worth here just spending that point of hope,
Okay.
just to get that little extra edge. I'll make a note of that. Yes, I think it. Yes, it has, because that extra dice with 1 on it does sod all to me, because I have 14 out of the needed 13, and then with 1 less die I would have had 13. Doesn't matter. No, we must not grumble. It's a pass.
It's good to know. It's good to know.
Yeah. I seem to be rolling lots of 1s, and I'm not happy about it.
You might want to stop that. You you pick up the path relatively quickly, and whilst probably even Gert could follow this path, you're actually, Arthaniel, with the success, able to start to make ground. You think you're making ground on the individuals. You suspect that they were moving, and they would have been out in the open when the thunderstorm rolled through. So they've either been going slower, or they've probably maybe had to stop. And the grass is quite difficult to walk through, and certainly when it's wet, you're almost like trudging along. And these are big tufts of grass. It's not a lawn or something where sheep have grazed it short. And then it's quite deep, and these rivulets of water move through, and you're quite muddy, and it's just hard on the legs. At points, it's almost marsh-like as you're kind of having to step through. But you're pretty confident you're keeping on the path. And as you kind of go, and if everybody wants to make me awareness rolls, because I'm making an assumption that you're keeping an eye out for what's happening up ahead.
Keep an eye on. Oh, there you go. There's 1s galore. I have a total of 6 ball. Out of 4 dice, there's 6 total score. You're welcome. Bree.
I've got. Oh, I passed mine.
Okay.
I needed a 13. I just got a 13. The
Great
one
success.
saved me this time.
Great success.
Great success.
Mhm.
How would you like to spend that Tengwa?
To make Tolman look amazing somehow.
I should have stayed at that cave. I'm thinking now.
I guess maybe he needs a confidence boost. So like finding his place in this, like, you know, he's a small Shire hobbit out of his depth, hunting men and wolves. You know.
So you've been going for 3 or 4 hours. Starting to get hungry, starting to get feeling all that water in your boots and all that kind of clammy mud in it. Tolman's feet, the mud squeezing through the toes as he kind of stumbles up and down. And there are so many moments when Tolman thinks to himself, I'd have stopped by now normally. I'd have been distracted by that, or I'd have been thinking about these clouds, but he's managed to keep the sense of purpose, and he's leading the pack. He's ahead of all of these rangers and the much taller, stronger man of Bree. And then you see the land drops down, and there are 3 or 4 rivers, perhaps temporary from the rain coming down, flowing along out, and this much more flat area as then the land rises up the other side, and you're certain that you can see 2 dark shapes just off as they look as if they've stopped actually, and just put some, and you call out to Esteldor and Arthaniel, and Esteldor and Arthaniel, no, But you're adamant, Tolman, that is the case. And you say, no, this direction. And either because of the confidence with which you speak or some sympathy that this is like your mission, you're the one affected by it, they decide to follow. And then as you kind of get closer, the shapes resolve themselves. There are 4 human figures, poles between 2 of them carrying dark shapes, sacks or hobbits. They haven't seen you, but it's Tolman's tenacity and sense and focus that has brought you to these, which would have been missed by all the rest. They're down in this wider valley.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
What do you want to do, guys?
Yeah, do we see that as well?
Tolman points it out, and initially you're
Yeah.
like, no, look, they're just rocks. They're just like, full to the eyes. But he's so adamant and so determined, and then yes, absolutely, you start to resolve it as you get a bit closer.
Yeah. I think I just want to press on a little bit harder then as well. Just ranger this situation, if that's the right word. Like just. Of course, I don't want them to see me, so I will try to move faster towards them. If I have to, I can hide or pretend to go quietly, but I would like to increase my, at least the determination to get to them.
Yeah, okay. What's everybody else doing?
I think Tolman's like checking that everyone's on the same page, that he spotted them, and he's like, come on, this is it.
Arthaniel's picked up the pace. It's started to move quickly. You can start to see him moving, shaping around to kind of get a naturally better position. Esteldor,
I'll
Gert.
follow him.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll keep up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you kind of start to hustle as well, Gert.
Yeah, Gert picks up his speed. They're not getting away.
Yeah, okay. So you start to follow, guided by the wisdom of the rangers. Arthaniel moving, then you kind of split off into pairs, and Esteldor takes another side around, so that you kind of got the ability to pincer them. They're trudging along, and you can see that as they kind of get closer, you can see that they're armed. Looks as if they kind of got some spears at one side. They're wearing very basic clothing, very kind of tribesman clothing. A little orcish in some of its designs, and its colouring, and they're not expecting to be followed in any way. They're heads down, trudging along. You are a couple of 100 feet away from them as they now start to ascend the gradual climb up from the valley, walking along, and they're dodging a little bit around bits as they're trying to find the easiest path with their loads upwards. You're Arthaniel and Tolman, you're towards the top side. Esteldor and Gert, you're a little bit lower down, and they're between you.
I'd like to jump out at them, but I don't know what to do this time, Gert, because
Gert just hefts his axe and charges.
Okay.
okay.
So Esteldor figures it out pretty quickly, I think.
I think
okay.
as soon as Tolman sees that, he's gonna follow suit. The fire's gonna rise in him. He's gonna charge down.
Okay, so
well.
you guys, you're kind of like, you're judging a little bit. Have they seen us? Have they not seen us? And as soon as you think they may have seen you, I think Gert kind of like triggers to kind of like get going. It almost slips a little bit on the dirt, but his determination keeps him going. And it's like, This is possibly the fastest he's ever ran uphill. As he starts to race forward, Esteldor's slightly a little bit taken aback, and then everybody's kind of like,
Yeah.
go, go, go. You will have the ability to do a kind of like a ranged attack. They're not going to be ambushed because I've got enough time to respond for when you get there, but you've got the opportunity to have a ranged attack. They won't have, because that's basically that they don't know that you're there in that phase, kind of thing.
Opening volleys then.
Yeah, opening volleys.
Okay.
I'll use my bow.
So I can do. We can do a bow attack, and then we can still charge in, can't we? After
Yeah.
the
So
sword?
essentially, what's happened is, Gert's like, I'm having him, and he's gone, and that's where it's over. But he's not doing it stealthily, but he's also not like, hey, look at me, I'm over here. He's moving, moving with purpose. Everybody else starts to move in, because they'll then see, because they're just keeping a general watch and such like, but they'll not have an opening volley back. You've got an advantage with the opening volleys, and you can certainly do an opening volley and then close the ground. And in fact, it might be the opening volley that really tells them that you're there. So those who want to do opening volleys, if you want to
Might as well.
to do that,
Yes. I will do that as well.
Mm. Yeah, well, I rolled a 12. A total
No,
of
I've
12.
got 11. I'm better with sword than bow.
yeah, okay.
Pew! Flies over. Warning shot.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
to scare them.
Okay, so anybody succeed with opening volleys?
Nope.
Okay. They drop.
I'm going to throw a spear. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yes. That's okay, right? We're rolling for the opening volleys, right?
Yep.
I'm thinking, because it's a bit of a risky, but I always do that. Can you do special attacks with the throw of the spear? I need to check that.
I don't.
Because if
What
not, I'm
special attack would
Sorry?
you do?
Because like you have this piercing blow, but I presume you have to hold the spear. Like you have to
I
do
don't
make
think
a
so.
normal attack.
No, I think you can do a piercing blow
Right.
with it being thrown.
Okay.
That's if you roll edge, isn't it? A piercing
Yes,
blow.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually that's a 10 or a Gandalf to get a piercing blow on the
Yeah.
feet guy.
But it says, so you can do a special damage.
So if you've got Tenguars, you can do that to invoke one of the special qualities of your weapon.
Yeah.
You can always do the one which adds more damage to it.
Yeah.
And then a spear will have something. Does it lower the edge required?
Yes, and then with spear it lowers it quite a lot. So, but I have to hit it, so I have to decide to do a pierce blow. So that was my question: if I can do a pierce blow as a special attack. But I understand that if I don't get a Tengwa, then I'm
So you
screwed
don't
in a way.
decide to make a pierce blow. You spend a
Okay.
Tenguar to
Yes.
get a piercing blow. To
Yeah.
use the pierce.
Yeah, so essentially if I don't get a Tengwa, basically I don't get it. Oh, that's
Yes.
the-
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's try to, because it's 4 of them, right?
Yes, that's correct. And technically,
So
2
in the open,
hobbits.
yes, of course. No, but that's I will do a opening volley and I'll throw the spear.
Okay.
So we don't get a surprise attack, you said, but we just get the
Yeah.
opening volleys. All right. Okay, so I'll spend a point of hope. Basically, I'm trying to sort it out sort of before it happens. So I'll spend a point of hope to get 1 extra. So that's 4 dice. Oh, this is good. Well, it's not, because I have Sauron. This is very scary because I've got Eye of Sauron and 3 Tengwars, so we got 3
Oh, wow.
sixes. So that's a
Oh.
yeah. I never know how that works. So you get the bad stuff, but I also have a lot of good stuff.
So you get 3 6s, so that's 18. The Eye of Sauron counts as a 1.
And I got another 4 because I also have a 4 on the normal dice. I got like
Okay, so I think you
20, so
probably
30,
hit.
23.
And you get to spend 3 Tengwars, and you can spend the Tengwars how you choose.
Yeah.
It's a 3 with a spear, so you would if you spend
I
all
want to
3
do
and
a-
make it down.
Can you
Yeah,
do
you
like a
could do it.
multiple special damage?
Yeah, so you could spend all 3 on heavy blow, for instance.
Spend 1 success. I can't do the pierce, which I really wanted to do,
No.
but I can't do it because of the stupid Gandalf. I mean Sauron. Sorry, I'm confusing all my allegiances now. Now I'll do a a triple heavy blow because, and I'm looking at my notes. I have a dour handed, so when I do a special attack, I do another +1. So I don't know if I get +1 for each 6 or just 1.
I'm going to rule you just get the +1. You don't get it
Yeah,
for each 6,
makes
but
sense.
I'll check it later.
Yeah, that's fine. So if that's a hit, then I deal.
It is a
I
hit.
deal. Sorry.
It is a hit.
So 4 damage is normal one, and then +1.
5
Dun-
plus
yeah.
3 times
So
your...
spend 1 success on. Yeah.
So what's your
Spend 1 success.
strength
I can.
attribute?
My strength is rating is 5. It would be like 10, I guess.
So your strength rating is 5, and you're
4
spending 3.
from the
You're
weapon.
spending 3 Tengwars.
Ah, okay, +1 for each. Got it. Yes. 4 + 3 is 7, + 5 is 12. 5 is my strength.
Right. So you're doing 4 damage normally. You're spending 3 Tengwars on heavy blow.
Yep.
And each success icon that you spend, you gain an additional loss of endurance equal to your strength rating. If your strength rating is
Okay.
5, that would be +15.
Yeah.
So the guy goes down with a spear to his head.
And I get just to say, I got another +1 because of the dour handed. So it's I guess it's 20 damage basically.
Yeah. So as Arthaniel's running up, it's like, and the wind's coming from the east,
Just
and
like, yes.
the sun is behind me, and I have this times pi multiplied by the square root of
Yes.
my stride, and then it just kind of like basically about 3 feet away from him by the time he's done the calculations. And
It's like the Olympic. Yeah.
straight through the head.
It's like the Olympic pole vaulter.
This
he's
spear
going for the
comes,
gold for the Olympics.
literally pierces through his head. Straight, blood spurts everywhere. He drops down to the ground.
Yes.
Ow! Says the Hobbit as he gets smacked into the ground.
Yes.
And everybody else misses, and you close. You race in. So there's 3 of them now. What stance is everybody adopting?
Forward.
Okay,
It's got to be forward.
Tom is on
Yeah,
forward.
forward.
Esteldor is forward. Arthaniel is always forward.
Yes, forward if it's available. Yes, please.
And are you pulling out the sword?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going
Uh-oh.
with local. I think
Good to know.
it's
And
the weekend, so.
Oh
why
no.
not?
Gert?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Axe. Forward stance.
Okay. I'm going to allow Tolman, I think, to take the first
Yes.
swing.
Yeah, we yield. Yeah, we yield. Yes.
Does he spend hope? Yeah, he's going to spend some hope.
This guy's got what looks to be a hand axe. It's just pulled from his belt. It's just dropped, and you can see, and you think it probably is Marigold's mum that's lashed to the pole.
Oh, really?
This is personal now.
They're not in sacks and things. They're
No,
just like tied to the pole.
that. Covered, soaked, filthy. must have been dragged under the hedge on the poles, like battered, not really with it,
Okay.
and generally dropped like you would drop anything.
Like a sack of potatoes. Yeah, so Tolman's just been just charging forward, just screaming, and managed to get his bow out and fire a shot off, which went off into the bushes, and is still screaming and is now in forward stance just as a result of his forward momentum.
Yeah.
So let's see what happened. The 2 dice. Oh no, 3. Sorry, I did spend some hope. I've got a Tengwa. So I've got 10. I've got 18.
That
Great
will
success.
hit. Yeah, definitely.
And I'll spend it to make it a heavy blow.
Okay.
So that's short spear, just charging forward with both hands, just eyes wide.
How much endurance?
He does 3 damage plus the strength bonus, so 7.
7. Okay. So it kind of like really chugs in. The guy can't defend it, and it pierces kind of into him. He's still there, but that was a substantial hit. As you kind of like, you literally jump, and every ounce of energy that you possess into there.
Yeah. There's no technique, it's just forward momentum and brace the spear against him.
Yeah, Tolman stabs wild men in the same way that I dance. No technique, all energy and enthusiasm.
Forward momentum.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I think it was Esteldor and Gert with the other side. So let's have Arthaniel. So we'll deal with both sides of the attacks together. So Arthaniel only speared 1. So in fact, you probably only got the 1 left on your side.
Yeah. Let's dispatch them.
So as it's reeling back, almost stumbles over the hobbit that was dropped, wide-eyed. These are humans.
Mm-hmm.
Dark hair, almost black, almost as tall, in fact, as Arthaniel and Esteldor.
Great. So it doesn't look like just a common rabble, bit of a bandit. So more like a servant of the enemy, right?
You don't think these are bandits? Yeah, these are more tribesmen or hillsmen or something along those lines.
Okay. Well, I try to give him some pain then.
Okay.
I will spend another point of hope because I'm good at spending those. Down to 5, and I get another one, so I get 1 extra from the attack.
Okay.
And then I go with that. Okay, this is okay. I got about 11, 13, 20. I got 20. Great success.
Great success.
So
okay.
this is a sword. So hang on. If it's dour-handed, that's a virtue on me, right? Yes. Okay. Sorry. It's fine. So it applies to the sword as well. I would like to make a heavy blow because I would like to make a point. So I will have the sword has 4. I get my 5 strength, and this additional from the dour-handed makes it 10. Plus any special magic bubbles that are also appearing are most welcome.
Okay. The sword slices into the man's flesh, kind of comes up and around. It just falls, bleeding out.
That was easy.
Esteldor. Gert.
Yes.
Gert set off first, so Gert will arrive first.
Gert, first off, I'm going to take a point of hope to add to this tag. Gert was very heavily affected seeing the hobbits in the state, seeing Tolman in that state. I thought it was maybe rage, but it's more like shame that he shares a bloodline with, that a man could do these things. He's seen bad things, bad people, but the shadows starting to wear on him a little bit, and so this is more trying to maybe exercise something from himself than just genuine rage.
Yeah.
Okay. 8, 10, 13, 18, target 17, nothing special.
Okay. Hits.
It's a hit, and the damage is 9.
9. Okay. The rage carries forward, and you swing with your axe. What was effective against the brambles is much more effective against the skin of the man. The fury of the attack puts him off guard, and he stumbles back a little bit, can't quite get together. There's moments of clarity as you see the axe bite into his flesh and blood spurt out. He's not got thick armor, he's got no great protections. He's got a wiry rather than a bulky frame. He's got these bangles around which are tufts of wolf skin. He's got marks on his face. Oh, you thought maybe it was mud at the start, but now you can see it's really designed to enhance the cheekbones and make it almost like it's got, as if the mouth is the end of a snout. It's caked off and sweaty and watery, but definitely there, some form of ritualistic. And through his hair, he's got wolf fur matted into it. It's not wolf fur poking through, it's literally tied in, kind of like as if it's attached as hair extensions. And he moves back as a scarlet line appears from where the axe hit him. Esteldor.
Hello, yes. As I'm last going in, I think Esteldor would be thinking before he strikes. So I'm gonna use a pot of hope to give me 4D, but I'm gonna try and hurt him non-lethally. We need to at least have one alive to question. That was my thoughts.
Okay.
Plus, it's a human, so it's a bit like. Right. Come on. No special dice, but.
Are you attacking the one that Gert was attacking, or the other one?
No, the fourth one, the last one.
Okay, cool.
So I definitely hit. I've got lost count. I've got 4. I've got 19. The hitting.
Yeah.
Okay. My weapon is a fell weapon, so it's +2 to my the injury roll. If that counts.
So injury would be if you got edge.
Oh, okay. It's 5 damage from my longsword.
Okay, 5 damage. Okay. So you're trying not to run him through.
Try to incapacitate if I can.
Yeah, you smack down at his weapon more than at him and elbow him to kind of like push him to the ground. He pushes back. He's sweating, and you've kind of like you've got your momentum pushing him back, definitely. Okay. So one's down. So the one that's on you, Gert, is it feels your ferocity and lets out a scream and a howl. as he kind of comes back at you, lifting up his axe. You were in forward stance, and he is going to. It's 7, 10, 12 he rolls versus. What's your. It's your parry. Good.
It's 16.
Okay, so you kind of like block like that, and then the one that's with you, Esteldor, you're in forward. He kind of sees, almost senses that you're not trying to kill him. It's almost like he sensed a weakness, and he kind of comes back at you, almost twice as hard. He is, yes, that's definitely going to hit 15, 19, 20, and he got an Eye of Sauron for a guaranteed hit in any case. He is...
It's my fault being too
Yeah, that's right.
considerate, I suppose.
He does 5 endurance damage to you, and he is definitely trying to kill you.
Okay.
He has no compulsion about that at all. So top of the
That's
round.
like I'm used to that.
Tolman and Arthaniel, yours are down. Marigold's mum, Mrs. Flaxen, is there in some state. You don't know whether she's actually she's alive. You can see her breathing.
Yeah.
What do you two guys want to do? I'll start with you two first.
Sure.
If the enemy that Tolman kind of faced is down, incapacitated in any
Very
kind of
much
way,
bleeding out, innards spread around from where Arthaniel's blow went through.
okay, Tolman will likely kind of, I guess he'll still be holding on to his spear. He wouldn't drop it so easily. He'll just be very focused on the Hobbit that he can see and just heading straight over to her.
Well, she's like basically beside you. So if you imagine that they were carrying them on the shoulder, kind of like saw you guys opening volleys. One died, dropped down. This guy saw you coming, dropped, tried to get out his axe. You into him. You probably tumbled maybe a little bit. So you're maybe 3 or 4 feet away from the Hobbit. Hands and feet just bound to the wood, just unceremoniously dumped down.
Maybe the second reaction is to just get right next to her, and then the main action would be to check on her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make a healing roll. So we'll deal with that first.
Okay, that's 2 dice. Yeah, I'll spend another point of hope. That brings me down to 7. And 3 dice then. 11 total. Nothing great going on there.
Alive, covered in dirt, looks bruised eye, hands by the way the wrists are bound, really rubbed raw, filthy dress, but much more than that you can't tell, but definitely kind of like alive. In and out a little bit.
Okie doke.
Okay, Arthaniel, what are you doing?
Yes, I'm just running to the. I can see Tolman is going towards his folk, and I just want to just give the other guys a hand if it's indeed needed. So
Stances from you guys then.
Stances. I'll stay forward.
Yep. Good.
Gert's gonna stand forward.
Cool, Arthaniel.
Yeah, I will join them in the esteemed position in the front.
And Arthaniel, are you going for the one that is with Gert or the one that is with Esteldor?
No, Esteldor is he can manage himself. I will help Gert.
Yeah, Esteldor's doing the ranger equivalent of this, though.
Yeah.
and the guy's doing the enemy equivalent
What
of
am I
this.
Okay. I'll
Yeah, okay, cool. So Gert, you're already engaged, so you can go first, and then Arthaniel can follow up second.
Okay. No hope on this one. Just. No, it's a miss.
Okay.
Should have spent that hope.
Yeah, Gert is swinging. The guy, the enemy has recovered somewhat from his surprise and has adopted a untrained but effective posture. And then Arthaniel, you come in behind. Is not wholly cognizant of you coming in until the last
Oh,
moment.
dear.
He moves around to fight
perhaps
you.
I could be a little gentle. So just whack him on the body, with the
Okay.
sword. I have an attack of I have extra dice from the forward stance. Yeah, this is okay. This is adequate. It's 15 with a great success. I will probably insist on going for the heavy blow. That seems to be working well today, so that will be
Okay.
10 damage to the gentleman.
Oh, okay. So he absolutely you come through. He's a little bit off stance. He blocks your sword, but the sword almost cuts through as you kind of strong arms bring it around. His eyes are wide, and you hear him shout something out. It's not a language that you recognise, though. But it's an exclamation of surprise, and his eyes were looking down at the sword as he shouted it out. And then, and he spins, his corpse spins away. Esteldor.
Yeah. I am going to use a point of hope again. So I'm on 5. Even though he stabbed me, I'm still going to try and not execute him.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm leaning to my true-hearted sort of thing. I think because it's more like. Do I explain? More feeling about like just randomly killing, I suppose. Plus, we need info.
Yes, no, I know I got carried away a little bit with that, so thanks, Esteldor.
So, 3. Yeah, I got 15 and I got 10 gua.
Okay.
So, 10 gua, is that the heavy damage I can do?
Yeah, you can do
Easy
heavy
to do.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, heavy damage, yeah.
Okay.
So that makes my damage 10? Well,
10.
hang on. Oh. Well, my damage is 5 on my sword. Do
Yeah.
I have to add on
Then your strength rating.
my rating? 7. Oh, yeah. Okay. 5 plus 7, yeah.
12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're beating this guy's like coming for you, but you're beating him back, and the weight of your attacks, you push away his axe, and then you kind of like essentially grapple him, roll him to the ground, smashes kind of like
Yeah.
side of his face in, and is not yielded. He's not kind of like giving up by any moment, but you've punched the air out of his lungs, and it's like that. So you've kind of like grappled,
Yeah.
pulled him down, bang, bang, bang. And whilst he's not like, oh, I surrender or anything like that, he's just incapacitated as you're like on him, and you now sat bodily on him, and you're kind of pinning his arms down in that way.
Yeah, I was
Nicely
going to
done.
say, if I'm pinning him, I'd probably pin him with my sword as well.
Yeah,
If I
okay.
can.
Yeah, cool. So you get your sword
he's-
and you kind of
so
like
he's
holding him
there.
down like that.
Yeah.
And he
Good
sees
work.
the sword and his eyes go go wide as well, and he just spits up into your face.
Oh.
It's almost as much blood as it is phlegm.
Mm.
But there's not much more he can do. You can feel him pushing against you, but your position and your strength is so much greater. And then whether he's biding his time and waiting, or whether he's just kind of like giving up a little bit, he relents. Okay, so all the combatants are taken out in some way, shape, or form. So Tolman's there by one of the hobbits. And that was that.
Oh. Literally, almost.
So,
Just wait for Joe to come back.
yeah.
Something's happening, so that's a good direction at least we're going.
Yeah, it's some fun. There we go. Okay, cool. So we just paused, Joe, so you haven't missed anything. So Tolman's down by one of the hobbits. What's everybody else doing? Esteldor's on top of this figure.
Yeah, I'm still focused on this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I will approach and then see if I can measure him up and try to understand,
It's about
like, if I know anything about it.
No, 80 kilos. Okay,
Bert's
good.
gonna try to recover the other hobbits.
Okay, so the other hobbit is a male. Big bushy whiskers coming down, slightly thinning top, very properly dressed waistcoat, corduroy, that kind of thing. Covered in mud, covered in wolf piss, stinks, matted hair in the dirt, fading in and out. Marigold.
Maybe I'll just
to comfort
help
him.
the wounded one. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
If Esteldor has the other guy, I will just see if there's any healing touch I can apply. Again, this is not.
Okay, so
Chief surgeon.
healing roll from you, Arthaniel, as
Yeah.
kind of go. And what are you doing, Gert? So you're now down beside him. He's bound onto the onto this.
I'll
pole.
try and undo that.
Yeah, it's easily enough as you kind of start to take that. It's just been worn. The skin's red, as the rope, the bindings, there. Okay, healing roll, Arthaniel.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is quite good actually. 21, great success. Wow.
Wow. Okay, how would you like to spend the great success?
Okay.
You could use the healing roll for both of the hobbits, so you can extend
Yes.
the effect to one more person if you want.
Yeah. I think that's good. Just to put them, patch them up, like like you go to the hospital, and just the fact that there's a nurse and somebody there trying to help you can sort of mentally
Yeah,
lift you up a
okay.
little bit.
So you see a side of Arthaniel that you've never seen before.
ER.
Like a gentleness and a care and consideration that is highly, highly unusual. Particularly, didn't show it to any of the combatants. They didn't see that side of him.
They made their choice.
But he kind of like comes. You kind of like get them freed, and you can see these marks and these notchings in the wood. And Arthaniel calms. He pulls out a couple of things and just some smelling salts and such like. And similarly across to you, Tolman. You've unbound, you're holding and comforting, and Arthaniel comes across. So they've been. So Arthaniel, you can see that they've had a level of physical trauma, but they've not been like done over. They've not been beaten up like a.
So no like physical abuse, but they've been just worn out
Yeah,
by
well,
the conditions of.
They have not been cared for. Nobody was really
Yeah.
that bothered about how they got lashed onto a pole and
Yeah.
carried for a couple of days, but nobody's done them over. In the
Yeah.
you know, they're not prisoners of the Russian state, but they're also not
Yeah.
being cared for in any way, shape, or form. And they're hungry, and they're tired, and their mental trauma is more than anything else. Both of them are fading in and out a little bit. They're quite cold, really pale, and very, very low on energy and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But if I have some, I may have some healing herbs.
You get,
I
yeah, you
do,
can
then
knock
I will
that
share
up.
it.
You get, it's more, you can get a bit of a brew going, get something warm, some
Yes,
sugar,
yes.
get some of the honey.
Yeah,
that you
maybe
carry.
smell this or just like chew on this to like give you a little herbal remedy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And
okay.
and you kind of pass something across to Tolman, and Tolman helps out with his, you know, just
Yes.
doing as he would do. So you've got this guy pinned Esteldor as Arthaniel and Tolman and Gert are caring for the hobbits.
I'm trying to interrogate him if I can. So, like, where are you taking those hobbits? You know, I'm getting a bit more like angry with them. Why are you in these parts? Speak.
So
I forced the sword closer to his neck if he doesn't answer.
He's clearly responding to the fact he can tell that you're ferocious and that you're threatening him. I can't. It just doesn't speak the language that you're speaking.
Oh, sugar. Can I?
And he's not that minded to listen to you really either, but the language is definitely a problem here.
Am I able to like lean on him to put pressure on him, and then one hand rummage around in a bag or a pocket and
Seems to
pull out
like
one
it.
of those symbols? What they
Oh yeah, okay. You pull it out. His eyes
left
go
on.
wide.
I'll go. I don't talk to someone who can't understand.
What's the nest?
What did you say?
Where's the nest? Scum.
Oh, I understood that one.
Yes. Yeah.
Angmar. Angmar.
Okay,
He's trying to push you
Childer
off.
must.
He's trying to push you
Childer
off.
must.
now.
Okay, I'll chuck that on the floor and I'll apply pressure again. But
Yeah.
I think I'll get a bit of a chill when he says about Angmar, because I know my lore sort of. and stories.
He starts to howl.
Oh, he's calling friends, I guess.
I'll shout to Arthaniel. I'm not getting no sense from him, but something about Angmar, Arthaniel.
Yeah.
Can I just punch
this
him
is no good.
as well? Just
Yeah.
You have to cut his lip.
I'll try again and just be like, where you take them? Where are you taking them? East, west, north. You going north?
So I think this is really, I think a courtesy check.
Yeah, I'm so courteous. I've got nothing
you
in
go.
courtesy. So.
No, so it would be a. I think it's persuade. No, it's not,
Persuade?
no, it's more awe. It's awe actually. Awe.
Oh, okay. Can I use another point of hope
Yeah.
or not? Yeah.
Why would you not be able to?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Sorry, and you get an additional dice because you basically got him pinned and you threatened his life.
Oh.
And you get an additional
Okay.
dice because he is incredibly affected by both Arthaniel's sword and your sword.
Okay.
Not
So
just
I'm
because there's a
favored-
chunk of sharpened metal at his throat. There's something about those weapons that have affected him.
Ah. Okay. He recognised my family sword then. Maybe. the style. So I've got
So you're getting two
Two
bonus
D-
dice plus your hope
two
bonus
bonus
dice.
dice. My normal one, and then so I've got 4D, and I'm favoured. Well, I'll take that. So that's
I thought you were gonna do the American thing and just shout louder in your own language.
well,
That's not just an American thing, Gabe. I think the British are pretty good at
Okay.
doing that as well. Let's
Where
this-
row you take, oh Hobbito?
yeah, pretty much.
Pedro.
Try and copy his black speech of accent. I don't know.
That's it.
So
Oh, Johnny Foreigner doesn't speak English. That just means I have to talk louder and slower.
I got a 19 with two sixes, two
Oh,
Tegwars.
okay. Well, okay. Well, how would you like to spend the Tengwars? More information? I think is probably the obvious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more information, please.
Death in Galak Ma.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a grab for a dagger at his belt,
Okay.
which he
Do I-
succeeds at.
Oh, I was gonna say I've got
And now he's going to try
stop
and
him,
come up to stab you in the side.
but what was the? So I didn't get any extra information. Was it just?
Oh, so that was what you got. So the roll was successful.
Oh.
There. So death at Galak Moor. You
Death at Galak.
Galak Moor, and you recognise the
okay.
name of Galak Moor as a very old small settlement of Dunedain, and it was one of the king's retreats many years ago, and it lives what would just it would be in somewhere in the far downs.
Far down. Okay. He's trying to stab me. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he stab me with the dagger?
Oh, he's got it out. He's trying, but you've still got him pinned
Okay.
for the moment.
Arthaniel, should I end him?
End him.
Yeah, I really
I'm
hate
trying to
this.
stop
doesn't
me.
even look. He's like, yeah.
No, but like this is the thing with these evil men, and it's easier if we just kill him in a fair fight.
This is the thing whenever
Exactly,
any
yeah.
player character in any role-playing game tries to interrogate an enemy, I've never ever seen it like end well.
I know. I mean, he wants death. I don't want to give him the death. He should
Yeah.
suffer more, being alive.
What are you doing, Esteldor?
Answer
Well,
for
you
his
can
crimes.
you could take his weapons and let him go. Then he will probably
What are you
run
doing,
down to
Esteldor?
his...
He's now starting to wriggle as he's trying to kind of like get you off.
I was going to just try and keep punching him in the face to try and knock him out.
Okay. Easily done.
Maybe use my sword. Maybe use my sword hilt.
Yeah. It's like he's still pinned. He's trying.
I'm gonna beat him to death.
Yeah.
Blood, fist. You got the two hobbits. They're cold, they're shivering, they've come around, they're still not really compos mentis. The wind is now howling across, the adrenaline of the fight is starting to fade away. You've got a day, maybe more with these. They can't, they're just not fit to move in that way. Hello.
More
Yes.
hobbits.
This is another hobbit. Yes,
Yeah.
a hobbit who wants candy.
Oh,
And so I'm going to,
Okay.
against my better judgment, give her some candy.
yes. That's exactly what Kenny does to me when I'm on a work call. He'll come in, he'll be like, snack, and I'll just be like, yes, yeah, right, yeah, take how many biscuits? Well, how many you want?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm gonna open this for you. Okay. Oh, you already opened it.
Self-sufficient.
Well
Shouldn't sign
played.
the
You know
paper.
what?
Independence.
Thank you for asking me.
That's good.
I mean, you gotta.
Self-sufficient. I think Tolman's going to be petitioning for getting the hobbits to safety or warmth, getting them a blanket, something like that, so that they can.
You came
Yeah.
out with
What
minimal
time of the day it is?
supplies. It's lunchtime. You came
And
out
we
with
are
minimal
a day away.
supplies because of Bert was sent back with Gudrun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like-
whatever I've got. I mean, my cloak.
Yeah, we
I take
can-
my
Yeah,
cloak
hand
off
it
and
over.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'd
and
like to-
petition to get moving. I think.
Yeah, I'd like to take the rope that was binding the hobbits and hand it to Esteldor to bind this guy.
Yeah.
We're taking him back.
Yeah.
Someone will
Well, this
answer
is
for
the
their
worry.
crimes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm worried about because I don't want hobbits to get a little bit creative with what they could do with this guy.
I
Yeah.
trust that the
They're not gonna
hobbits.
be lazy.
Yeah, I don't think the hobbits are gonna have I think cooler heads will prevail in the Shire.
Maybe
They're
we
not.
could.
They're not really
mean, I agree.
bloodthirsty folk.
Arthaniel,
Okay, I
maybe we
mean,
could.
we can go.
Sorry, I was just going to say,
Mhm.
Arthaniel, maybe we could get him back to my
Refuge.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
in
can
Bree.
they can deal with him.
Well, I was about to ask that. Yeah, exactly. What do we want to do with him? I guess he should go to the police station somewhere. So, which one you're referring to? Is it the one in Bree or?
No, it'd be I'm gonna get the map.
He wants to go to a
But
real
the-
authority, not the sheriff of Bree.
No,
I'll
of
probably-
course I know this is I was talking about our people, but like I
I'd
don't want
say
to.
Take him to the mayor in
Yeah.
Mitchell Delvin.
Oh yeah, there we. Yeah, that would be good.
actually, it's probably we'd have to go for the show. I think it's my camp. So, are your people nearby?
Yes, I think
'Cause
so.
I'm east part. So
If we want to go back, if we want to go back out here, if we want to go back out here, we have to take this idiot with us in a way.
yeah, it just depends. Do we let the hobbits trial him, or do we just take him? And
Let's
not
get
let see
them.
him?
Let's just get them back now, and we'll
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
work
get them
out
back.
the
I agree,
justice.
Yes, yeah. Okay, we can talk on the way. Yeah, so we make haste to go back. But
You bind the fellow.
yes,
He's
Probably
sullen
blindfold as well.
but compliant, blindfolded. It's going to make
Yep.
the journey back harder for you and take longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You turn your backs on the far downs, and the cold wind bites through your clothing. And the Shire and the white towns ahead of you, and slowly and steadily, holding the hands of the hobbits that you've rescued, talking to them and reassuring them, you make your way back towards the Shire. And that's where we'll call the session.
very good.
Cool.
Wow.
Work.
So these guys are like some kind of wolf cult hill tribe
Yeah.
or something that are like
Yeah.
they're all about the resurgence of Angmar.
Yeah, that would be the Hillman, right? The Hillman living in near Angmar. There's tons of those.
Yeah, like Khan Doom, wouldn't it be? I think.
Yes, somewhere that way.
Well, we're never going to beat that quest if it's Khan Doom.
Yeah, there's so many shadow cards. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
But-
I remember like vaguely there was some scenario in this what was it? There was a Lord of the Rings game on PlayStation. Something
Yeah,
to do with the North.
it's my favourite game. That is War of the North. Yeah, it's pretty much
Exactly.
what the One Ring is really.
Yeah. I think this
You're
was it
saving
because they were
Eriador.
like really big, powerful men, very savage, but they were huge, like they were really physically
Yeah,
advanced, but not really advanced weapons. And then yeah, I think there was a dragon in there somewhere, but it was a good game. Sorry.
yeah, there was. Yeah, yeah it's
Cool.
good.
So thank you very much for the play. I thought it was quite fun actually.
Yes,
I mean,
mate.
it's a little bit dour,
Yeah, it was-
perhaps a little bit more dark than your normal kind of
pretty
like
sad.
One Ring, but
It was, but I thought it was a great session. It was,
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of the. There are moments, aren't there? I mean, when Gandalf falls to the Balrog, seemingly. I mean, that's such a dark moment,
yeah.
and early in the story, So,
True.
yeah, it felt like there should be some kind of personal reflection for some of the characters as part of that.
Yeah, how you choose to respond to that, it'll be interesting, very interesting.
yeah. Gert is definitely riding the line on shadow points, so I've
Yeah.
got seven shadow points for Gert.
Yeah.
What's the maximum you can have of Shadow? I can't remember.
If shadow
Cool.
is more than your hope,
Hope.
you become miserable.
Oh,
And then it gets even worse, doesn't it? As you get temporary madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start to get negative traits
Yeah.
that align with your shadow.
Shadow path, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Gert could become really bossy.
Or Tolman will just
I'm
wander
sure I
off
can see it.
and talk to himself.
Cool.
No more candy for you. You will get
No
no
more.
candy for a week.
Get out of my
sausages.
sausages!
Yeah.
if I ever get that far, mine's Curse of Vengeance, mine is.
Ooh. Shadow path.
I think
Dragon
Arthaniel
sickness.
becomes more Arthaniel-like.
Yeah, leans into it a little bit
If
more.
that's possible, if that's even possible, I have dragon sickness, guys. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
you're
want the
tricky.
loot.
Beggar. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. What we'll do is we'll arrange a date on the Discord chat for May, because I had clearly misunderstood Alessandro's message, but I'll pick a date in May for us to go so we can pick this up.
Awesome.
Yeah. And are we looking at a fellowship phase then, Paul?
Yes, so essentially there'll be a very short adventuring phase whilst you kind of like, maybe not even an adventuring phase, there'll be a narration of you getting back into the Shire, and then a fellowship phase and a Yule fellowship phase as well.
Oh, cool. Because
Cool.
I stopped counting how many sessions I've
This
been
is
in.
the seventh since
Seventh.
you got experience
Okay.
points last. So essentially you'll get 21 skill
21 of each.
points,
Wow.
21 adventure points, 21 skill points plus your wits, and 21 adventure points. And it's a Yule tide fellowship phase.
I've lost
Okay.
count. The last time I saw it was like 15 adventure points and 3 skill points, but that must have been ages ago.
So there have been 7 sessions. This is the 7th session since the last fellowship phase.
Okay,
Oh, I'm gonna.
that's fair enough. Yeah.
That's useful because I'm gonna do the homework and start looking at what, in the context of the story, Tolman might want to improve that.
So next session will be a Yule fellowship, and I'm kind of assuming, to be perfectly honest, that that some of what you do will be investigating the rumors and what you've learned, and trying to track that through, and therefore it might make sense actually that you do take the captive off to the Rangers rather than into the Shire, and that forms part of what you do in the Fellowship phase there. And also maybe heading back to various families to spend the Yule. Gudrun can head back to Dale and do the long journey back if she wants to. But yeah, so you'll get 20 because you get, and I'm not that bothered as to which of that 7 sessions you've attended or not, because I know you should only get them if you're playing in the session. But kind of like everybody's got a life and everybody's trying to play, and if you can't make a session, then you can't make a session. So I don't want to be punitive about that. So everybody will get the same experience points.
Very cool. I forget what the hope
So
recovery
how much?
looks like in a Yule. I know you can do something to reduce your shadow, but I was just wondering, you get your hope fully recovered in a Yule fellowship phase?
Yes.
No,
During the fellowship phase, all player heroes recover their heart number of hope points.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I think we, as Dunedain, we maybe only get half of that.
Yeah, you get less.
Restless bastards.
Well, then, can I suggest that we had 4 hope left in the fellowship? Would you like to replenish your hope now?
Oh yes.
So that you're
Can I have
not-
one now, please? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I know this is this is just my project management coming out. Sorry.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. That's
Yeah,
really
it makes
good.
sense as well in the context of having rescued those hobbits, that you would feel more energized and better about the world. So if you want to just empty the fellowship pool out at the end of the session, that works for me.
How many did we have?
We had
Well,
4
I'm-
left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tolman had
Joe-
1.
Yeah, that's it. So we had 4 remaining. 4 for each of us, and then Bree Folk puts an extra one in the.
Yeah, okay.
in the
So we
pot,
get
so-
basically 1 each to recover one point of hope.
I won't need it because my heart rating is 5, so I'll recover fully. So if someone needs an extra one, they're welcome to mine.
Esteldor, how are you on hope? Because you've been spending some hope, right?
Yeah, my current hope is 4.
Yeah,
Oof.
so you take 2.
Take mine,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't necessarily need it.
Well, I could take yours if you don't want it then, but
Yeah.
but if you want it, you can have it.
No, do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would help me because I'm back to 7. And so in terms of rounding, so you cover half. Is it rounding up or down? I never know, but I need to have a look. I'll have a look. I'll check that.
And remember that you're also able in the fellowship phase, the all fellowship phase, maybe even every fellowship phase, you're able to change the useful items. So if you wanted to kind of like prepare for the next step as anticipated and something more relevant, then you can do that as well.
I have a coil of good rope that I had no use for. Maybe I'll get some good herbs, like
I had the healing
deluxe
kit.
version.
Esteldor fesses up to it as you like hit the boundary of the Shire. Would this have been useful as you kind of like just he's got a load of morphine, antidepressants, adrenaline stab.
That's a good point. We're getting, because Gert's heirloom items are all about traveling and bonding with people, right? He's got the pipe that he can like lend out. He's got the giant eagle feather cap that's meant to like impress people. But now that danger is ever present, he might change something out to
Okay.
reflect
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
2 extra packs of sausages would be my suggestion.
I'm like, yeah, I might get another Bree pony.
Yeah. So then tomatoes would also travel with. This is really good thinking. Yes.
No.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, last question, Paul. How much are we likely to get? Is it you say 20 for the adventure?
So you get 21 because there have been 7 sessions since the last fellowship phase.
Ah, okay.
So you get 3 per session. So you get 21 skill points,
Yep.
21 adventure points, and then because it's a Yule fellowship, you get your wits rating and skill points as well.
Oh, hang on. This is now. But you will tell us. I mean, no, I will write it down now because I'll forget. So for this one, 21 adventure points, 21 skill points, and
your
then wits rating of
and skill points.
skill points plus 5 skill points. Okay, I'm gonna go shopping.
Oh, nothing better than Arthaniel going shopping. Can you imagine Arthaniel in like a shopping mall?
IKEA. I imagine he likes walking through IKEA.
In the marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following that path.
Yeah. But stealthily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hiding behind a dresser.
Yeah. And
Having a quick nap on the bed displays. And stuff.
yeah. And then slaying anybody who comes across his path. But other than that, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Slaying high prices.
Yes. Cool. Excellent. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Paul.
thank
great.
you, Paul.
Enjoyed that.
Really great.
And I hope your dog is calm and that it's not total carnage.
Yeah. I will post a pic of the of what has occurred within the car on the way home. So, let's hope for the best.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.